Hey, what is up guys, it is Willem over here, and today we have ourselves a request video from a fellow user named KunoVR, aka the Gluten King, suggesting that we should do a guide video on the Broken War. So let's get to it. In a nutshell, Broken War is a one-handed longsword that primarily deals slash damage. The only thing that really makes this different from other melee weapons is that it's the best one. Second place only to the War, its more complete and greatsword version. Stats wise, it is a direct upgrade to the Dakra Prime, and that it's got a really high base damage compared to other melee weapons. And the fact that it's a slash damage weapon makes it the best amongst all the other 3 physical damage types. Like, what more could you ask for? Even it's got a low status chance and a fair crit chance, that crit is just about good enough for Berserker. And on top of all that, it comes with a V and a dash polarity. So if you got your stance mod on it, you don't need a forma. Now let's get on with the modding. As I stated earlier, this already comes with a V and a dash polarity, so a forma is not really required. Modding is pretty straightforward. You want to go about that base and the elemental damage of your choice, and slap on a life strike so you can take advantage of its high damage and get a lot of lifesteal back. Now level 1 life strike is recommended by most, but I decided to max mine out for some reason, and it does me good. Like, if you channel and you just hit something, bam, you're full health, even on a Valkyr with maximum vitality. You don't need to do this though, because a max life strike will drain a lot of your energy while you're channeling, and I don't channel much, but that's just how I play. And this guide, this weapon, along with a lot of the things in Warframe, you can customize it to your own liking and to your own playstyle. The stance polarity is V, so it takes in Crimson Dervish and the new stance called Vengeful Revenant, which I also don't have. It's particularly hard to get, and currently on the market it costs about 300 to 400 platinum. So I'm just gonna make it about Crimson Dervish, so it's much more open to everyone else. The only difference I really know about it is that Vengeful Revenant has faster attacks, but Crimson Dervish is a good stance in its own right. Now if you want to know a good way to farm Vengeful Revenant, I featured that in my previous video, and I'll leave a link down to it below. Now to demonstrate this weapon, I'm going to be soloing a Dark Sector defense on Pluto just because. Essentially, the best part about this weapon is that you get it after a quest chain, so basically anyone can get it. Any seasoned player could solo the whole quest chain like I did, or if you're new, you can get help from other players, which won't be that much of a trouble because more often than not, I see people redoing this quest because it's pretty fun. Now, if you haven't done this quest yet, I heavily suggest that you do it. Trust me, it'll change your views on Warframe. But if you don't know where to start, if you're at Mastery Rank 3 at least, or higher, you can start this by going to the Natah questline, which you get from scanning an Oculyst. Point you in the right direction, you can find these Oculysts after Mastery Rank 3 at the planet Uranus, like how I featured in one of my previous videos. It's not exactly a tutorial, but it'll point you at the right direction. Now, it might make you wonder why DE would make the second best melee weapon in the game so accessible to everybody. It kind of made me wonder too, but it made sense after realizing that its blueprint is the most taxing, if not the most expensive blueprint there is out yet, because you need a war to craft this. And 2,700 Oxia, along with some other crap. And you need this to craft the war. And I don't know if these two blueprints are reusable, like if you want the war, you just, use your Broken War, or if you want the Broken War, you use your war, and you just reuse the blueprint after that. It'd be cool if it was, but I'm not 100%, because I already have them both. Now, the only way to have them both in your armory without having to break one is by completing the second dream quest and buying Hun Hao's gift. For a somewhat spoiler-free backstory on this weapon is that the original war wielded by the stalker given to him by Hun Hao gets broken along the way. And that's all I had to say. I don't want to spoil the quest for you guys. Now, I know you and I don't have that kind of time, so I decided to fast forward this all the way to wave 15. I do apologize for the sudden change in voice tone. I took a nap and I woke up with a cold. But the show must go on. Now, as you can see, these infested are giving me no trouble because of this weapon. There's barely a difference with the Corpus and the Grineer as well. This weapon is just a beast. Watch that Berserker prop and just go nuts. And on top of Valkyr's war cry, check this out. And I'm not even channeling. I only channel when I need to refill my health. But yeah, even though if you aren't using a melee only frame and setup like what I am right here, it'll be great to go with your primary or secondary whenever something gets a little bit too close for comfort. It's a really reliable weapon and it has yet to let me down. As a matter of fact, sometimes I prefer this over the war when I'm sticking to my primary and secondary weapons. And if you ask me if it's worth it to sacrifice this weapon to get the whole war, I'd still say it's completely worth it because war is a totally different level. But either way, both are great weapons that you should totally get your hands on. So what do you think about this weapon? You think it is a great idea by DE to add this to the game and make it as accessible as it is? Or do you think it's way too overpowered? Let me know down below, I want to know what you think. Also, I do take in requests like these and I'll be doing more. For my next video, I'm thinking about doing another guide video for farming a particular resource or prime frame for a series I'm thinking about starting. So if you have any more questions, suggestions, or any violent reactions, let me know down below. If you like it, if you didn't, if there's any way I can improve, I'm open to anything. But please, if you want to see more videos like this in the future, please feel free to subscribe. Have yourselves a great day and a great 2016.